Ohio. Slovenia, the state in southern Europe. The territory -20236 km. The population -2,089,310 people. July 2019. Takes the 144th place in the world on population, and the 150th in territory. The capital, Ljubljana. A state language, Slovenian. Unitary, parliamentary republic. In March 2020, the post of the Prime Minister was held by Janez Janša. Administrative division. 210 communities, including 11 cities. It is located in the pre-alpine part of the Balkan Peninsula. It is washed by waters of the Adriatic Sea from the southwest. In the west borders on Italy, in the north, on Austria, in the northeast, on Hungary, in the east and the south, on Croatia. The industrial country with dynamically developing economy. DDD volume for 2011 was $58.979 billion US. About $29179 US per capita. Monetary unit Euro. Independence of the country is declared on June 25, 1991. On March 29, 2004 Slovenia entered NATO, and on May 1, 2004 entered into the European Union. The name Slovenia comes from an ethnonym to Slovena, a Prasloviansky form of an ethnonym Slavs, that is the earth means it is nice. The ethnonym etymology, Slavs, by estimates of a number of linguists, remains obscure, though there is a number of hypotheses in this respect. The name of modern Slovenia happens from the Slovenian Committee of National Release N. Slovenski Narodnobudalni Svet. Created in 1944 during the national liberation movement of Yugoslavia minus the German occupation. The official name of the state in 1945-1946 was Federal Slovenia. Federalna Slovenija. At the time one of the country's makings through. On February 20, 1946, Federal Slovenia was renamed into the People's Republic Slovenia. Ljudska Republika Slovenija. Which in turn was renamed on April 9, 1963 into the Socialist Republic Slovenia. Socialisticna Republika Slovenija. On March 8, 1990 Slovenia removed the socialist prefix from the name, having become Republic Slovenia, and on June 25, 1991 found independence. Slovak ancestors of modern Slovenes settled on the territory of the country in the 6th century AD. In the 7th century they formed Carantania, who became one of the first Slavic states. In 745 Carantania, in exchange for military aid, recognized protectorate from Franks, having kept at the same time formal independence before the disintegration in 1180. Influence of Franks promoted Christianization of Slovenes. About 1000 Brzezinski spomeniki, the first written document in Slovenian, were written. In the 14th century the territory of modern Slovenia got under the power of Habsburgov and further was a part of Austria-Hungary. Slovenia was divided into 3 provinces. Kranjska, Koroška and Štajersku.
Movement of tradeways and 30 Years' War in the 17th century promoted economic decline of Slovenia, but in the 18th century economic development became more active again.
Production of various goods increased, the agricultural products became about 60% more. The national educational movement was developed. This period received the name of the Slovenian Renaissance. In 1809–1813 the most part of Slovenia was a part of Illyrian provinces. In the 19th century, especially during the Revolution of 1848–1849 in Austria and after her, in the Austrian Primorje the Slovenian national movement develops. The center, Krajina. In 1918 Austria-Hungary broke up. Italy, following the results of World War I, took all Slovenian Primorje, having included it in structure of the region Venice Giulia.
The rest of the Slovenian lands entered again formed Kingdom of Serbians, Croats and Slovenes, which in 1929 was renamed into the Kingdom Yugoslavia.
In 1941, after attack of powers of Axis on Yugoslavia, Italy annexed the territory to Ljubljana, and Germany other territory with the city of Maribor. The Kingdom Yugoslavia broke up during World War II, and Slovenia was a part of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia as the Socialist Republic of Slovenia that was announced on November 29, 1945.
From Italy, Obalna Kraš and Gorizhia's lands were attached to Slovenia.
By results of the referendum held on December 23, 1990, 88.4% of Slovenes supported declaration of independence of Slovenia from SFRJ. The war in Slovenia. One of the military conflicts of the war, which began at disintegration of Yugoslavia, continued 10 days. During 72 fighting contacts of loss of the Yugoslavian army made 45 people killed, 146 wounded, at the same time 4693 servicemen and 252 employees of federal services were taken prisoner. Losses of the Slovenian forces of self-defense were 19 killed, 9 combatants, the others civilians, and 182 wounded. Also 12 citizens of the foreign states, generally drivers on service of the international transport companies, died. 31 tanks, including burned and damaged. 22 transport armored cars, 172 vehicles and 6 aircraft were put out of action. On December 23, 1991, the Constitution of the Republic of Slovenia was adopted. In 2004, the country was included into the European Union. The country is divided into 212 communities. Abina, 11 of which have the status of the city. The capital is divided into regional communities. Sečetna skupnost. The representative body of the city, City Council, Mestni Svet, is elected by the population, executive. The representative body of community, Communal Council, Občinski Svet, is elected by the population, executive. The representative body of regional community, Council of Regional Community, Svetsekni Skupnosti, is elected by the population, executive body, the chairman of the board of regional community, Predsednik Sveta. The head of Slovenia, the president elected each 5 years. Executive power the president and the cabinet possesses. The last is appointed by Parliament. The Parliament consists of two chambers. National Assembly, Državni zbor, and State Council, Državni svet. In this state meeting 90 deputies are elected. From them 88 on a proportional system, and 2 places on a majority system for the Slovenian, Italian and Hungarian communities. The State Council performs functions of the upper house. 40 deputies elected for a 5-year term, representing important economic, structural and national groups of society sit at it. The Parliament is elected each 5 years.
The main parties of Parliament are the Slovenian Democratic Party and the Liberal Democracy of Slovenia.
Body of the Constitutional Supervision, the Constitutional Court. Ustavni sodis. The highest judicial authority, the Supreme Court. Vrhovni sodis. Courts of the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Courts. Vish sodis. Courts of First Instance, Land Courts. Okrano sodis. And District Courts. Okruzno sodis. The supreme body of public prosecutors' supervision, the Supreme State Prosecutor's Office. Vrhovno državno tožilstvo. The supreme control body, Financial Court. Računsko sodišče. The number of staff of ground forces minus man are in fighting structure for 2002. -7 infantry brigades, as a part of everyone, are available on 3 infantry battalions. 1 fully completed and 2 battalions of a shot. -1 special purpose crew. -1 airborne brigade. -1 anti-tank battalion. -2 detached mechanized battalion. -1 engineering company. -1 division of protection against OMP. -1 regiment of material support. -1 anti-aircraft rocket crew. Slovenia is in the Alpine and Danube region of Central Europe. Allocate 4 main geographical regions. In the northwest there are Alps. Julijski, Kamensk and Savinski, ridges Karavanki and Pokari occupying 42% of the territory. In the northeast Panonski. Srednjodoniskaya. The lowland. 28%. In the south the Dinarski uplands. 21%. Including the Karst Plateau, which gave the name to a relief of this kind. In the west the Mediterranean coast. The Adriatic Sea, 9%. The area is km. Area of Sushi. 20151 km. Area of water space. 122 km. The highest point, Mountain Triglav top. 2864 m. The lowest, the coast of the Adriatic Sea, -0 m. Large rivers. Sava. 221 km. Drava, the right inflows of Danube. Lakes Mountain and Glacial. Blejsko, Bakinsko. And Karstik. Srknica, drying up, the biggest in the country, at most 26 km. About 1000 karst caves. Postojnska Yama Sharkin Caves. Set of falls, the greatest Jetsa. 130 m. Climate on the most part of the north moderately continental, the average temperature of January 0. 2C, July 19. 21C. Rainfall of 800-1200 in mountains places over 3000/year. More than a half of the territory occupy beech and oak coniferous forests in mountains, the alpine meadows in the seaside, on the karst plateau, steppe vegetation. Slovenia has developed economy. From all Slavic countries, and the countries with the former communistic planned economy, Slovenia has the highest nominal DDD per capita and DDD, the second after the Czech Republic, on PPS per capita. The minimum wage for 2020 makes 1024.24 euros. And 736 euros, net. The average amount of compensation as of November 2020 is 2028.42 euros. And 1328.04 euros, net. Advantages: stability. Manufacturing industry is competitive. Strong export. The prospect of growth of trade thanks to membership in the EU. The Revol's automobile works is very productive. Renault Clio. Junior D. One of the largest and important Slovenian importers, including for the German automotive industry. Competitive port in the pocket. Weaknesses. The economy is partially liberalized that holds foreign investors. Privatization, including the banking sector, goes slowly. Official currency of Slovenia is euro. Earlier national currency of Slovenia was the tolar. Slovenia became the first of the countries which joined the EU in 2004, which started single European currency in the address. Average gross salary in Slovenia for November 2020 made 2028.42 euros, average net salary. After payment of taxes and insurance premiums, minus 1328.04 euros. The minimum wage in 2021 was 1024.24 euros. In June 2005, the government of the Republic of Slovenia adopted the Strategy of Development for Slovenia, which includes excess of the average level of economic development of the EU and also increase in employment according to the purposes of the Lisbon Strategy in the next 10 years. The improvement of quality of life and welfare of each person measured by means of indicators of human development, healthcare, social risks and social unity. Ensuring the principle of stability is main criterion of quality in all areas of development, including the purpose of steady growth of population. Development of an image of the country in the world through development of her characteristic pattern, cultural originality and active participation in the international processes. The large oil company Petrol is completely state and according to the special decision of the government can't be privatized. In power industry of Slovenia there is one nuclear power plant, the NPP, Krško. Unemployment rate of 7%, a gross product on one inhabitant of $27,000 in the country of only card working. In 2009, world economic downturn led to decrease in export and industrial production, more than for 6%, and unemployment rate exceeded 9%. As of December 2019, unemployment rate was 4%. People were the unemployed. It is the lowest level for all history of Slovenia. The Bank of Slovenia is the central issue and control body.
There is a merging of banks which includes about 30 commercial banks of Slovenia.
Annual gain 2012 plus 0.16%, birth rate minus 10.66%, mortality minus 9.35%, B plus 1.31, balance of migration plus 0.31. Data for 2012. Total coefficient of birth rate minus 1. 60 births only woman. 2018. General life expectancy. Men minus 78.4 years. Women minus 83.9 years. 2018. The population on a census of 2002, 1,964,036 people. Slovenes 1,631,363. 83.1%. Serbians 38964. 2.0%. Croats 35642. 1.8%. Bosniaki 21542. 1.1%. Hungarians 6243. 0.3%. Albanians 686. 0.3%. Macedonians 13972. 0.2%. Montenegrins of 2667. 0.1%. Italians of 2258. 0.1%. Not specified and unknown 174,913. 9%. As of January 1, 2013 in Slovenia it is registered 2,058,821 inhabitants. Slovenia takes the 145th place in the world on population. Average age of the population of 41.7 years. Men minus 40, women minus 43. Average population density makes 101.66 people on km. About a half of inhabitants lives in the cities, the others in rural areas. Official Slovenian. Italian has the status of official language in some settlements of municipalities of Izol, the Popat and Piran. Hungarian in 5 communities Prekmurje. Dubrovnik, Lendava, Moravski Top Person, Hadoš and Šilovci. Also official, though lower status as the Gipsy language. According to a census of 2002, Catholics make 57.8% of the population, Muslims minus 2.4%, Orthodox minus 2.3%, Protestants minus 0.8%. The Union of Baptist Churches of Slovenia, the Union of Pentecostal Churches of Slovenia, Adventists. Slovenian is South Slavic language with writing on the basis of the Latin alphabet. He has the general roots with the Croatian and Serbian languages, but significantly differs from them. At the same time, he has some lines close to West Slavic languages and also the North Russian adverb of Russian. Slovenian, one of the few Slavic languages which kept dual number, and now 49 dialects of Slovenian remained. In Royal Yugoslavia, Slovenia differed in almost universal literacy of the population.
On a census of 1921 in Slovenian, 8.9% of the population were Drovska-Banovine of Yugoslavia illiterate only.
In the same 1921 in Belgrade, the share of illiterate made 14.1% of the population, and in general across Yugoslavia -51.5%. The best-known writer of Slovenia is Franz, 1800–1849, whose lyrical poems established new standards for the Slovenian literature and helped to awaken national consciousness.
Since World War II, many Slovenian folklore traditions were lost, but there are attempts to revive national culture. For example, the Tutamora Slovenica trio executes the Slovenian folk music. At the beginning of the 90th, the international competition of band players was won by Alessandra Manaccia, who executed the Slovenian folk tunes. In the 1970th, the musical style industrial, which by the beginning of the 1980th captured all Slovenia.
A striking example, the Laibach group from Ljubljana, Laibach, the German version of the name of the Slovenian capital, came to the country.
The postmodernism in painting and sculpture moved forward from 1980 at the Neue Slowenische Kunst group and 5 unknown artists working under the pseudonym Erwin.
Many considerable constructions and the areas in Slovenia were created by the architect Jos Plečnik, 1872–1957. In 1919, the first university, Ljubljana, was open. Later the universities in Maribor, 1978. The Poppet, 2001. And Nova Gorica were founded, 2006. Slovenian cuisine. According to the data published by Mission, the best dish of Slovenian cuisine is kranjski sausage.
At the official level, it is recognized as a masterpiece of national value.
The use of fish is traditionally broad. Many dishes are borrowed neighboring countries. At Austria, strudel, and Danube, the Vienna Schnitzel, nogi, potato trickled pastries, the risotto similar to ravioli, local Italian dishes from Hungarian cuisine were borrowed, and a stewed chicken or beef. Meat and apple pie are widespread, also layered meat pie or beet cheese. The word of the Turkish origin. There are many types of trickled pastries, from which a strukla, cheese trickled pastries, the most popular. It is more best to try traditional dishes in gostilna, local restaurants.
An example of a traditional Slovenian dish, fastini juha.
Goveja juha, rich beef broth, long noodle soup. Rezanci, rezants. Sometimes with addition of cheese of Parmesan and also a gobova juk. Gobova juha, seek soup. Good white and red wine is manufactured in Slovenia, and also hard liquors such as snaps, brandies called thani, Skanji, and brands of beer, Lasko, Lashko. Union, popular in Slovenia, are made. Holidays. On January 1 and 2, New Year. On February 8, Put Pressure.
A cultural holiday of Slovenia.
On April 1 and 2, Sunday and Monday of Easter. Dates for 2018. On April 27, Day of a Revolt Mines Occupation. On May 1 and 2, the Labor Day. On June 25, National Day. On August 15, the Dormition of the Theotokos. On October 31, Day of the Reformation. On November 1, the All Souls Day. On December 25, Christmas. On December 26, the Independence Day. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.